If you want to learn Greek, you know that it is a very difficult language and it will defeat you. So I think the first thing we have to do is to determine why we learn this language. Or there can be many different kinds of reason for you to want to dive into it. The first one, I think it is quite unusual, is that you want to learn it for a linguistic purpose. Well, for me, it is not the primary reason why I learn Greek, but throughout this process, I find that it can be a very rewarding reason for me to dive into Greek because it is very relevant to Latin, to Sanskrit, other kind of Indo-European language. For this reason, I think it's uh, enlarge my vision of how different kinds of related but different languages uh, interconnected to each other. And well, if you are interested in this kind of area, you can try to read some books on historical linguistics, which is very difficult, somehow mathematical, and very interesting. You should definitely try it out. And the second reason is that, well, we all know that the New Testament is written in Greek originally. So it is definitely a rewarding process for those who are Christian and those who are somehow interested in reading Bible just like me to read the Bible in the original, a New Testament especially, the New Testament in the original language. Well, the Old Testament is written in Biblical Hebrew, so it's the Old Test and New Test are not originally written in single language. So, well, if you want to read New Test in original language, ancient Greek, if you want to learn, if you want to read the Old Testament in original language, use Biblical Hebrew. Okay, but anyway, there are versions of Old Test in ancient Greek. So if you want to get a kickstart in the biblical language, I think ancient Greek is good because it is easier compared to biblical Hebrew, unless you are Arab, okay, or you are Jew from Israel, then biblical Hebrew will be easier. But anyway, ancient Greek for theological purpose, definitely worth it. And the third reason is very common. I think I do not have to explain it anymore. Philosophy, a lot of philosophy, is written in ancient Greek. I think most of the philosophical words cannot be translated, to be sure. Not just ancient Greek. I think any kind of work that are history related, philosophy related, or literature related cannot be and should not be translated. So if you are interested in Greek philosophy, definitely learn ancient Greek to read the original text. Well, it is also it is also fun. It's because it is difficult. Solving difficult problems will gives you a hint, a sense of accomplishment. So well, fun. If you are boring and you are quite courageous, definitely try it out. Then how you do that? I think well you should be aware that the ancient Greek is not single entity of one language. It is continuous steps of Greek languages, plural, in different time, in different form, in different tone, in different dialect. Well, the most common two are Attic and Koine. Well, the it is two major type of ancient Greek languages studied by people. These are not separated by time period. If you classify them using time, they are classical, Koine, and Byzantine, and then modern. Okay, modern is not ancient anymore. So classical is like the language of Plato, the language of Xenophon, the language of Euclid, any kind of cool guy you know. Okay, but this is more difficult than Koine. Koine is the transliteration of Greek word common. So it is the dialect of Greek used by non-native, not used by, that was influenced by non-native speaker of Greek that adopted the Greek language. So some of the grammatical aspect of Greek language has been simplified or even disappeared in the Koine period. So, but also the Bible, New Testament is written in Koine. So if your only purpose of learning Greek is to read Bible, then Koine, okay? Otherwise, I think still Koine is worth it because it is easier. It is an easier start for anyone interested in ancient Greek, but it's not too easy and too distinct from the classical compared to the modern. Okay. Anyway, choose which one you like. Me personally, I choose Koine because I know I will quit if I choose Arctic. Arctic is way too difficult. So the resources I recommend to you, first of all, I think using a set structured book is better than using different kind of floppy electronic material. So I recommend you few books that are suitable for beginner. Okay, me personally, I'm also a beginner. Okay, I just have the method that I want to share with you. That's all. I'm not an expert. Okay, I'm not an expert. So, the first one I recommend is this one. It is reading Koine Greek. Well, it is not just reading. It also includes a lot of grammar for you to get familiar with the language, but not being bombarded by very complicated, very exotic grammatical structure that probably was only used one time in the Bible. Okay, so basically every chapter start with a very distinct grammatical structure that you are going to study, and then in this chapter, more than just grammar, it also includes a lot of passages from the Bible and other kind of biblical work for you to be able to gain acquaintance with the grammar, the vocabulary, and some theological idea of the Christian. But even you are not Christian, just like me, it is anyway very good starting point because it is easy, very low resistance path for you. Okay, but it is a very huge book. It contains around 900 pages. So me personally, I do not plan to finish the whole book because some grammar are just way too boring. Okay, if you are bored with a language, you will not like it. So I just stopped reading this book around 500 pages, something like that. So what do I use then? I use this one, a reader. But it is also a biblical reader because there are a lot of repetitive verbs that are theological related. That is, it's the story of Bible is somehow still very interesting to me, even as a non-religious. Okay, and well, in this book specifically, it is for reading purpose, but it also reminds you of the grammar you should have studied before, and more than just copy the Bible. It contains some reference to the theology to the grammar and to the vocabulary, and you also teach you how to use a lexicon. Okay, it's just a fancy word for dictionary. So I think, yeah, if you are bored with grammar but you also know enough of grammar, then you can use this one. And it is, well, it is Bible focused. But if you don't like reading religious work, then you can use this one. Well, it is all the kind of fancy philosophy that you might have heard before. So, well, I use this one first because I have already read some biblical work from using this one. So, well, choose which one you like. Okay, it is just the matter of taste. If you can read Chinese and you want to read Bible, I recommend this one because it is a very complete commentary on every passage of Bible. So, if you can read Chinese, definitely try it out. Okay. Okay. So, now let's go to some tips. First one: be patient. Be very patient. You will not be able to read even Bible with just a year of study. Okay, it is not possible. You will encounter plenty of obstacles that you find very defeating. Just be patient. Just be happy with what you have already gained, what you have already done. Okay, in the process, the fluency will come. The fluency is very slow to be able to gain. I know it. I definitely know it. Just be patient. Give yourself time. 3 years, 4 years. It doesn't matter. It will come one day that you will be able to read the Bible. With dictionary, of course. You cannot just skip everything without dictionary. Even in my native language, Chinese, I read classical Chinese with dictionary all the time. It's not a problem. Just be patient. Just use dictionary. Always use dictionary. Don't pretend you are smart. We are all stupid. But the third point is that, well, learn grammar until not learn enough grammar to be able to read, and then skip all other kinds of boring stuff that you will hate, that will make you hate this language. Just skip them until you encounter them. Okay, not until when I was reading Bible do I encounter participle in Greek. I don't know. I didn't know what is participle. I skipped that, and the first time I encountered that stuff, I was shocked. I don't understand, and I learned it. Then I use it. Then I use it to read. Then it's not boring. It is not defeating. Okay, use grammar to help you reading. Learning grammar itself is not meant to be the only way to learn language.